Do 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 do. All right. All right. Come on, Trading View. There we go. All right. We are live now. Hello, everybody. Let me get over to the YouTubes and get over to the live session on YouTube so that we could talk to people and answer questions. I'm Chris Giuliano. This is TrendCloud Trading. This is the TrendCloud Trading Room where we go over the actual TrendCloud system and we incorporate 6 elements of trading. That is trend, momentum, cycles right here. We've got cycles across multiple time frames and also support and resistance and supply and demand. Those are the 6 elements to the TrendCloud trading system. And I'd like to go over that with you guys in the live trading room every single day so that if you do decide to become a member, you can always jump into the live stream and answer questions or ask questions, and I will answer them for you. And we also trade the TrendCloud system, and we log everything, okay, in our simulator right here. Where is our account? Here we go. Here we always assume a $20,000 account, and you can see here are the trades that we've taken over the past 3 days, and we have discussions. Now, I'm trying to be more and more conscious of the account history so that we can log everything together. Now, sometimes I end up doing more of a teaching session and we miss trades. Okay, so I'm trying to be more conscious of that because people seem to really like to see the data. I have all the data as well. If you become a member, I do send you the data on TrendCloud, all of the back tested data that I have. You get a digital trading journal that you can log everything on. And let me bring up the chat here on YouTube and see who's in here. Okay, very cool. There we go. So feel free to ask questions. Feel free to throw some stocks out there. We do use investment style techniques in here as well. Okay. I believe in investing in stocks for the long term. Okay. I believe in doing that as your base. That's long term generational wealth. And then trading futures and Forex or crypto or whatever you want. Trading is for short term rapid growth, especially if you're using a back tested trade plan. If you have a back tested trade plan and you optimize your strategy, you've got something very powerful for short term growth. I don't like using the term daily income. This is very deceiving. I don't like using the daily income vocabulary. This is very deceiving because it doesn't work that way. It sets you up to believe that, oh, I'm making a paycheck today, and what was my paycheck today? That's not how it works, and I really don't like telling people that who are trading for the first time because it gives them the impression that, oh, you can produce a paycheck every day for yourself and, oh, I want $1,000 a day, so let me go trade for $1,000. You don't know what the market is going to give you, and you certainly don't know what's going to happen. I saw an advertisement the other day for this trading system that predicts the future. It actually tells you, and they said 3 days. They actually gave you like a definitive amount of days that it was going to predict something for. How would you like to trade a system that told you what to do 3 days in advance? When if this is your first time trading, you're like, whoa, yeah, I want that. That's you know. So that's not how it works, okay? What you have to do is become a discretionary trader, okay? Whoa, that was a little too hot. um, what you want to do is become a discretionary trader. You want to build your skill set. You want to build your skill set up to a certain point, and you're going to do that in the simulator. Once you start seeing this in the simulator, once you start seeing profit and that you're in the green, okay, start with $20,000 and pay attention to it and trade as if it were real. Okay, that is the only way that you're going to transition into the live account. All right. So a lot of people will buy a trading system. And especially if you want to become a TrendCloud member, if you want to use the TrendCloud trading system, you've got to use it in the simulator first. Okay. And I wouldn't be a trading mentor, a good one anyway, if I didn't tell you that. And if I wasn't fully transparent to the fact that this is a skill that takes time to learn. And if you get good at it, you can use it for short-term rapid growth. Okay. However, your base should be in stocks long term, ETFs, mutual funds, whatever you want. But if you know how to use a system and map out price action and understand how to set trades up using TrendCloud, then you can have a very good conversation with a financial advisor. Okay, just understanding how to read price across 3 time frames is a very powerful skill to have. It's a very valuable skill to have because now no one can trick you. Nobody can say, hey, I'm going to put you in this stock or this ETF or this mutual fund. I'm going to put you in this, and it's going to be great. It's going to be the best thing for you. Oh yeah, really? Okay. Let me run TrendCloud on that mutual fund. Let me run TrendCloud on that stock that I've never heard of before. And you can see what this thing is actually doing and if it really should be a good time to buy. What if I wanted to, let's go over to some stocks real quick, being that we're talking stocks. Let me go over to the stock list here. Let's go over to this Mara here, okay? Let's say, hey, we want to put you into Mara, okay? We want to put you into Mara, okay. Marathon Digital Holdings, right? Here's the 4-hour chart. Let's go to the daily because if we look at stocks, we look at daily, right? And here's the 1-hour chart. Now, you can see here that the TrendCloud candles here are blue. They're ice blue right now. Hey, what's going on, my friend? Wow, Karate Academy. Nice. Oh, my goodness. Kyoshin-Ryu Karate Academy. That's amazing. How's it going, my friend? My uncle owned a karate school back in Long Island called Dragon's Pride Martial Arts. Oh, Chuck, what's up, buddy? Nice. I did not know that was you. Okay, Chuck, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Hey, Kazi, how are you doing? Good to see you, man. Good morning. Yeah, my uncle owned a karate school on Long Island called Dragon's Pride Martial Arts and had it for a real long time. It was Taekwondo, though. Taekwondo, not Japanese karate. It's Korean karate. Good deal. All right. So getting back, we're just chatting about, using TrendCloud to have a better conversation with your financial advisor. If this is a new person that you don't know and they're trying to put you into some kind of mutual fund or stock maybe that you never heard of. So on TrendCloud, with the system that I programmed here, you've got these blue candles. Let me expand this. Let me expand this and show you right here. So there are 5 waves in an average trend. And Chuck, I don't know if you've heard this, but 5 waves in an average trend, okay? And what I did was I programmed it so that it would count the waves up. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 average wave trend. Now we're coming into the 6th wave here, right? So the candles turn ice blue, as if to say, hey guys, this has been going on for a while. We might have trend reversal. So it's just a signal, right? It's just a signal telling me, hey, I might not want to continue to buy this thing, right? So you can see here that it went up about 11 waves. And then what did it do? It had a deep pullback, recalculated, and then continued the move up. Okay, sometimes what this does is it pulls back, goes a little sideways, and then continues the move down and does a reversal. You see that more in futures, Forex, and crypto than you do stocks. You don't really see full-on trend reversals in stocks, do you? You kind of see more. Oh, here you go. Here's Marathon. Do you see how it's not that common though? Okay, so this thing is on sale. Marathon is a company that we believe in. We want to accumulate, right, Kazi? We want to accumulate these stocks. We don't want to short these stocks. So this is a visual representation, Chuck. This is a visual representation of price action on a chart rather than looking at nothing like this. Well, when the hell is this thing gonna turn around? Let's say you bought it, what is this, September 8th. Well, I don't know. Let's say you bought it right here, right? Oh my goodness, September 11th. Go here. There you go. September 13th. And you bought this sucker, I don't know, right there. $10.14. And let's say, whatever, some finance guy says, hey, we got to get you into Marathon. So they put you in and you're right here. And then it starts going down, right? Well, a lot of people panic and they start yelling at their finance guy, and your finance guy probably doesn't know technical analysis. He might not know technical analysis, or she. So as we're going down here, you're getting real angry. I got into this thing. It's $10, and now I'm losing money. You've got to look at the big picture, and this is the daily chart. Okay, well that's the 1 hour chart actually. All right, we'll stick with the 1 hour. But as this thing is going down, if you have TrendCloud on your chart, you can see, okay, this is a stock I want to accumulate. This is a company I believe in, like Apple or Amazon or Google. We're not going to short these things, right? So as you're going down here, if you didn't have a reference and you just bought this thing at $10.14, you're real scared here if you don't have a point of reference. Okay, so TrendCloud can become your point of reference. It's the perfect complement to your technical analysis strategy. Okay, it's a price action mapping system. So we know that the trend has gone extended now to the downside. This thing is really on sale, and there's going to be some sort of turnaround. If we look left, this is a higher time frame demand zone. Comes down, you can start looking for call options in this area, right? Now, right here, you can see, my God, this thing went down 11 waves. This is going to reverse. It should be pulling back anytime soon, right? So right here, you get the crossover, and it does something wonky, right? It does it does pull back deeper into this demand zone. And demand zone, as we know, supply and demand zones, Kazi and I were talking about this yesterday. Supply and demand zones will usually outpace and maybe even outperform any kind of indicator, right? So if you have a system that helps you identify these zones and helps you identify where you're at in price action, and you start taking demand zones or supply zones in an extended trend, like look at how close this trend is that's extended. Look how close it is to this demand zone, right? Nothing is perfect, right? Like exact. Like engineers and programmers, they always want stuff to be exact, right? If a structural engineer builds a bridge and the math isn't correct, the bridge falls down, right? And so they bring that sort of mathematical thinking into trading, and it's a little difficult. That transition's a little difficult for them, you know. So so we're dealing in zones, we're dealing in areas, and if you're using options, well, that's great, because unlike futures and forex, you know, we're dealing with real small entry points, right? And so you the whipsaw kind of can take you out. But if you're looking to accumulate this, then that's a different story, right? Because in the long run, we know good companies continue to go up. That's what's so powerful about either just, you know, accumulating full shares of a company that you believe in, or even buying call options on a company that you believe in, like a year out. You can buy those call options like a year out. So instead of buying one share, you buy, you know, 100 shares. So, so in this particular case, we're going up. Let's hold off on accumulating Mara right now. Let's wait until it goes on sale. Candles turn red, pulls into this gap fill here. That's what we were boxing out. Start accumulating in this area, and then the big move up, okay? So that's just a real general use for accumulating stocks using the TrendCloud system, okay? And there's an entire course on this that I put together. So, so now when you go over to your, I have a green list here of all the futures contracts. So you've got all your futures contracts here. What time is it? 9:18. Let's start with gold, okay? We always start the day off, or I should say the morning off, with gold. And we start reading the charts, okay? This is our CCI indicator, great indicator for that middle time frame, guys. A great indicator for that middle time frame, the trending time frame. We want to make sure that whatever trade we take, and as you can see right here, well, let's get the proper, let's go over here, put the 15-minute, right? Because we're using the 15-minute opening range. Okay. Right here, we've got the trend is down on the 1 hour, and we've got momentum on our side on both the 1 hour and the daily chart here. Okay. Go over to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart and daily chart, momentum is down. So the only thing that's really missing from taking the retest of this area here, the only thing that's missing is the fact that we're not quite yet in a downtrend on that 4-hour chart. So we do have the downtrend, and we're early in the trend too, right? We just hit that second wave. We're pushing down into the third wave. So what are we expecting here when we start to cycle back up? Here's your third wave, pulls back into the trend cloud, right? Box out the trend cloud here, right? And it's really, and then you've got the rest of this until here, right? Look where we're at. look how close the pullback is to the opening range and to that higher time frame trend cloud. You see how I did that? Let me just get rid of this. Look at how I'm boxing out the trend cloud on that 1 hour chart. You see that, Chuck? I'm boxing that out because I know from my back testing that this cloud works very well, and you can see it right here on gold. Look at this. Impulse up, pull back into the cloud. Impulse up, right? Correction back into the cloud, pretty close to it there. Impulse up, correction back into the cloud. And then finally, it tried to push up, didn't make it, pulled back a little deeper, right? Hit that 50 simple. This is the 50 simple, Chuck. Let me show you the coordinates, the values here. The trend cloud is composed, as of right now, because that's what's working, and we update this every 3 months. We update this 15 and 34 exponential. That's what's making up the trend cloud. The 50 simple, this line, right, and that's right here. Okay, and this is all you can adjust this to whatever you're using, right? You can adjust this. I make everything adjustable, but the 15 and the 34 make up the cloud. The 50 simple, that's the line in the sand between up and down. Okay. You got it. Good. Okay. So we combine all this stuff together, and you've got yourself a really nice mapping system for looking at price action. Now that you can read price action, you can apply it to a strict supply and demand zone strategy. You can apply it to a momentum-based strategy, which is also incorporated inside of TrendCloud. You can apply it to pattern recognition, okay? We use Fibonacci in here a lot for our double tops and double bottoms, right? We have a very specific strategy that we use called the 2618 trade. 2 meaning double top, 618 meaning the 618 retracement level on Fibonacci. And there's a technique that we use to get into the trade on those trend reversals. But we're using price action here, and we're coming back in here. So let's set this up because it is starting to happen. Let's focus in here. Okay. So do you see? This is that higher time frame trend cloud. So I mean, you know, it's going to pull past that opening range, and this is the trend cloud opening range tool right here. See how it puts previous week's high, previous day's close. It puts everything on that chart for you. And then it will automatically form and draw the lines out on the 15-minute chart for you. Okay? So we're coming into the retest, and we've got everything in our favor down. Right, Kazi? Everything is down right now. So here we've got previous day's low inside of, if we draw this out, this rally-based drop, bottom of the candle to the top here, right? But then we've got this drop-based drop sort of sitting up here. Is that what that's looking like up here? Let me see. Yeah, I would say either a drop-based drop right here. Here's the top of the wick. So we're really in this thing. We've got a level on top of a level, right? So because this is the micro gold, we might be able to get away with it. Let's put Fibonacci on there as well and see if we can, get the full length idea of this. Does anything line up here? Well, oh, look at that. Previous day's low, 618 retracement level inside of this demand zone. Pretty good, right? We also have, you know, the 886 running right through the middle of this demand zone here. So, you can't rack your brains about, oh, which one is it going to be? You'll never know. You're never going to know. But with a little bit of, help here, a little bit of technical analysis here. So this is inside. Remember this. Let me make this one blue now. Okay, this blue box, that's your high time frame trend cloud, right? From here to here. Okay, that's the sweet spot, right? So, you can't really rack your brains. Let's see what this thing will cost. Okay, let's just we always assume a $20,000 account, okay? We always assume a $20,000 account. We put it right above here, all right? That's $45 with one contract. Okay, 4 contracts, that's the most we can do. Place the order. That's the most we can do because we're not going to go over 1%. We're not going over 1% because if you do, you're just chipping away at the profits that you made if this thing doesn't work out, right? I'm sure we've all heard that a billion times, but do we do it every time? Do we do it every time? And that's what takes practice, okay? So this number right here is way more important than this number right here. We all want to chase this number, right? We all want to chase this to, $440, man, I want that, right? We all want to chase that. And if you're on the full contract of gold, this is more like $4,000, right? So, and then you think about whatever mentor you had saying, "Oh, daily income," and you're just looking at that $4,000. You're just looking at that $4,000. I'm going to make $4,000 in one day because my mentor told me daily income. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, and I never say it. So, in reality here now, sensibly, what we've got here is we looked at our price action, right? We looked at our price action. We said, all right, 15-minute trend is down, pulling back up into, right? We are pulling back up into this supply zone with downward momentum, okay? And that's why it's important to have some kind of, you don't need 20 momentum indicators, right? You only need one. And that's what we've got here. We've got one momentum indicator for that middle chart. The CCI indicator was invented back in 1980 by Richard Lambert. This guy was a genius. He was a mathematician that focused on commodities. So this is the commodity channel index, okay? And it works very well on, guess what? Commodities, because that's what it's built for. So why not incorporate that into your trading strategy? Okay, and I have that inside of the trade plan that I wrote out, and I'm always updating that. And when I update it, the reason why I put the trading plan on Canva is because if I go to Canva and I update it, which I like to do every 3 months, it will automatically be updated on your end if you have the link. I know I sent it to you, Chuck. Kazi, I know you've had that for a while. So yeah. So that is why it's on that Canva platform. All right, it's 9:30. We've got our gold trade set up, and what we're going to do, with this gold trade, okay, is the target is down here. We're going to place a target here, right at the end, but we're not going to do it with that tab. Once we get into the trade, we can start scaling out of the position on TradingView. Okay, that's how it works on TradingView. So I can come over here, hit that plus sign, right? And I would say buy, and we're going to take out half our position like that, okay? But you got to do that You can't do that now. Otherwise, it's just going to buy the contract. You got to wait until you're in the trade. Then you do this, and it will scale out of the position for you. Okay, so we'll take off 2 contracts if, in fact, this is the end of the leg, right? If, in fact, this is the bottom of the leg. But again, we're pulling back into a supply zone, which is also a retest of the opening range. Okay, it's also a 618 retracement level on Fibonacci. So you see how we're stacking the resistance levels? We're in a very strong downtrend on both the 15 and the 1 hour. So we got trend and momentum going down. We've got those elements on our side. We also have resistance, right? Right here. We've got resistance going on. We've got our supply zone. And we also have, we are also cycling down, right? We're impulsing down on the 1 hour. The only thing against us is that we're correcting down in an uptrend on that 4-hour chart. It's the only thing that we have against us. So we've got a lot of evidence that this thing, at this moment in time, remember, short, rapid growth, right? Short, rapid growth. If in fact this does come back, okay, we're forming some inside candles here. If we break lower, we'll just grab our Fibonacci line and we'll pull this down lower. But it looks like we're starting to break to the downside here. We never came back up into the, here. Now, if we miss the demand zone, jump down to that 5-minute, okay? Unfortunately, we missed it, right? These TrendCloud signals, guys, I can't tell you how powerful these 5-minute TrendCloud signals are. Look at this. During the opening range formation, right at 8:30, right? And in the trade plan, I tell you guys, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. That is the sweet spot for these momentum moves in the futures market. And I can't even tell you how many times we've done this, okay? The 5-minute chart, the TrendCloud signals on the 5-minute chart, if you line it up, okay? If you line it up with momentum on the middle time frame and the high time frame, if you line this signal up with momentum and trend, you've got yourself a very good chance of making money, okay? Not 100%, but look at this. Whoops. All right, let's just clear the chart and keep it nice and neat, okay? Look at how this signal, I'm going to grab that vertical axis line right here and right here, okay? Down signal, top of the cycle, just starting to cycle down. Momentum is below negative 100. Chuck, I don't know if you looked at that yet, but we want to, if we're taking supply zones, okay, we need to be in a downtrend on the 1-hour chart, and clearly we are. TrendCloud is a visual representation of what's going on in price on your chart. I made it specifically that way. Red candles, red TrendCloud, oh, downtrend. Boom, I know right away when I look at it. You must be below negative 100, okay? So that's why this line is red and this line is green. We need to be below the red line. And this is what Richard Lambert did back in 1980. If the CCI line is below negative 100, that means you're in a very strong downtrend. So any kind of pullback into a supply zone, okay, any type of pullback into a supply zone, you're pulling back into that supply zone with very strong downward momentum. Why wouldn't you look at that? So now you've got a good chance of this happening, right? What if the CCI indicator was like this, above positive 100 and pulling back, into that blue shaded area in the same scenario? Here's what you might get. You might get something that looks like this. Pulls in, reacts, and then does this. That's why this component to the trade plan is so important when you're taking supply and demand zones. Do not take supply zones when CCI is above positive 100 on that middle time frame, whatever middle time frame you're using. Maybe you want to use the 5, the 15, and the 45, right? In this case, we're sticking to, for the rest of you, if you did go to Online Trading Academy, it's one of the things that they taught us there, okay? 4-hour, 1 hour, 15-minute chart, okay? Last year, I did a internship with a hedge fund manager, and he showed me 3 time frames that were 3 times higher than the next. That's what he did, okay? And introduced me to these concepts, okay, of momentum, especially when you're using supply and demand, okay? So look at this thing, guys. So we're running away here. We never pulled back. So we didn't get our demand zone here, or our supply zone. But look what happened. It pulled back, hit the trend cloud, that 15-minute trend cloud, and made a move down. This is what I did on wheat yesterday. I took the trade on wheat right here at the trend cloud because the 1-hour chart and the higher time frame were all in my direction. So we had a very strong downtrend, both with trend and momentum on our side. That sucker came right back, hit that top of that trend cloud, just like I boxed it out here, right? What could happen here? What could happen here? This thing could come back and just touch the very bottom part of that trend cloud and make a move down because the momentum is so strong. That's what happened on wheat yesterday, and I recorded it. If you look at the video from yesterday, you'll see you'll see that move take place. Okay, so gold, that's what gold did. Didn't quite break through, right? So these are all inside candles. We might get enough of a boost, and you can see your cycle indicator here starting to turn back up. We're at the top of the cycle, but this little black line here, this %K, it moves a little faster than %D. See that? See how it's pulling back up? So we might have something that looks like this, okay? Pulls back up and then hooks down and starts making that come around. So we might get, we're looking for this. This is the move we're looking for, and that's what it will look like on our cycle indicator. The cycle indicator is great for timing your entry, okay? It's great for timing that entry. And we use it as a reference point on the highest time frame here. Mostly we use it here, okay, guys? To let us know, hey, all right, I know we're in an uptrend on the high time frame. Are we in a correction phase or are we in an impulse phase? Right? Well, your cycle indicator is a very clear representation of that. And you can see here that we're at the bottom of the cycle and we're just starting to push back up, aren't we? Okay, so now that's That's concerning us now going short on this low time frame opening range, right? Put back the opening range. This is what we're going for. We're still going to take the chance on it. We're still going to take the chance on it because we've got all of these elements on our side. We've got a downtrend that's early in the trend on the low time frame. We've got a downtrend that's early in the trend on the middle time frame. It is cycling down, so the middle time frame is impulsing down. We are below negative 100 on our CCI indicator. Momentum is down. Okay, so all the forces so far are pointing down. So when this pulls into some type of resistance level, along with a supply zone, along with the retest of the opening range, okay, we've got a good chance. I'll take $180 risk, okay, to scale out of a trade and make a little bit of short-term rapid growth. Steve, what's going on, buddy? Micro gold futures. Okay, so Steve, you're delayed because you don't have data. It's not expensive. I think it's like $4 a month or something. But if you go into your profile here and go to billing, you can buy the data, and you just buy the data. I believe it's called Globex something. It's called like Globex. I'll make a note of it and I'll put it in the chat for you. But yeah, you need data. So yours will be 10 minutes delayed. Maybe you're using just the free version of TradingView, and that's okay. That's okay. But if you really want to practice, Steve, if you really want to practice properly, get some sort of paid version so that you can do this data here. Okay, $20,000 account, put it up there. Don't touch that number. Don't recalculate it. You've got to see progress in your simulator first. Now, when you start seeing this, now you can transition into your live account. Okay? So be patient. Go through the motions. Here we go. Pulling into. So we're just starting to hit that opening range there. But yeah, so we are below negative 100 on that CCI indicator. And that means that we're pulling back. This is like, I almost want to say this is like a fish jumping up into a downward waterfall, right? Like, you know how the salmon migrate back to where they were born, to spawn. This is like a salmon, jumping into a very powerful downward waterfall, right? So you want to set that up for yourself. You want to set that up for yourself as many times as possible, because that's an edge. An edge doesn't have to be 98% accurate. An edge is simply something that gives you a higher probability on the trade. That's all an edge is, right? And that's what they talk about that in the rule, right? Our good friend that we always like to reference, Mr. Larry Height, and also Mr. Mark Douglas, right? Mr. Mark Douglas talks about that in Trading in the Zone all the time. So very good information. And if you haven't read Way of the Turtle, that was about Richard Dennis in back in the 80s when he put an ad in the newspaper and recruited all of these people, just everyday normal people, not really, not in finance or anything, but he taught them how to trade. So and it was a very interesting experiment. So I highly recommend it. You'll enjoy that book. But here we go. So let's see if we get this. It's hitting that previous month's high. See, I know step by step what's going on here. I know that this thing is hitting the previous day's high, right? The previous month's high right now. I know the previous day's low is right here, right? Here's your trend cloud, okay? Is this thing going to work? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm following a very consistent formula, okay? I don't know the sequence of wins and losses. I don't know the sequence of wins and losses. I only know that sometimes there will be wins and losses. And if you're using an objective system, then, it's like you become the house. And I don't like using betting references, but it's easy to understand. If you go to a casino, the people who own the casino, they make the rules, right? Well, why? Why does the house always win? Because the rules have an edge in the house's favor. Okay, does that make sense, guys? So, in your trade plan, you have to develop the rules. You have to develop the rules that give you an edge. Okay, and that's all you can do. That's all you can do for short-term soybean. Oh, Kazi, soybean hit your 2-to-1. Excellent. Let's take a look at that next. I go off on tangents sometimes, guys, but these are really good lessons. And if we're in, I'm going to try to stick, if we're in a trade on one thing, we can have a real deep discussion about it, and then have that trade management along with the trade. You can only do so much in a live session, right? Okay, so if you have an edge, you just follow that edge, and that's all you can do. You're never going to know what's going to happen. Don't ever think that you know what's going to happen, because the day that you do, that's the day this number right here turns into, instead of $180, it turns into $1,500, and you wipe out all your profits. That's what happens. All right, Kazi. Soybeans hit 2-to-1. Kazi's been using TrendCloud for a while now. All right, we're just about to hit. All right, let's just take a quick look at soybeans here and just see what's. Oh, wow. Yeah. Beautiful. There you go. All right, so Kazi, knowing him, he's up a little earlier. I don't know if you took this 15-minute. You probably took that 5-minute TrendCloud signal. I bet there. Come on, TrendCloud, where are you? Sometimes there you go. There you go. So I know Kazi's been using that 5-minute. He's been using that 5-minute signal a lot. Right there. So we get the signal right here, right at 9:30, and then boom. We're making progress here. We also get a signal right here. Both of those work, depending on where your stop loss is, right? Pulls back into the cloud, TrendCloud signals, push to the downside, and that's just taking off now. Man, oh man. So 5-minute TrendCloud arrow. There you go. Okay, excellent. I'm talking to Kazi on the TradingView chat right here, guys. I know there's a few of you in the YouTube chat there. Steve, premium TradingView, but didn't realize what. Oh yeah. Okay, if you got the premium, that gives you access to all stuff like this, right? To all your charting. You can put, I think 4 or 5 indicators at once on the chart. You can see the multiple time frames. But in order to have you need the data. You need to have data, and it's not expensive. I think it's like $4 or $5 a month or something. Now, if you're trading live on TradingView, if you have an account on TradingView, like with AMP Futures or Tradeovate, then you won't need data. Your broker will give you data. So let's say you have a premium account on TradingView, Steve, and you want to actually trade live on TradingView. The broker will give you the data. Okay, you'll purchase the data from the broker. Okay, and it might be cheaper. It might be cheaper when you do it that way. But if you just want to, because you got to go through the simulator first. Okay, you can't go live until you're profitable in the simulator. Okay, so you can purchase the data for now for simulated account. It's live data, but you would purchase it from TradingView, and you just go up here into your profile, click onto your profile picture there, and it'll bring you to billing. And then you look for Globex package. I believe it's called Globex package, and it's very cheap. It's a couple of bucks a month. And then you'll have access to all the data, and you'll have up-to-date live data for taking trades. You won't even be able to take trades. Okay, you won't even be able to take trades. And we got into that gold trade. Beautiful, beautiful. You won't even be able to take trades, Steve, like this, unless you actually have data. Okay, so what happened here? What happened here? How did we know this was going to be possibly a decent trade? How did we know this? Well, we knew because we said, okay, we didn't just look at one chart. Okay, we didn't just look at one chart. Let's go to the 15-minute chart here, and just look blankly at this thing like this. Okay. Now, if you're looking at this, you're saying, oh, well, here you go. Here's a rally-based drop. It broke structure. Yeah, great. Okay. That's okay, but that's just one thing. You're looking at one time frame. You're looking at one supply zone, and that's it. Now you're going to add TrendCloud, and you're going to say, okay, well, we're in a downtrend, and now you're going to add the opening range. Say, oh, okay, here's the opening range. That's a strategy in itself. Now you got multiple time frames. Oh, okay, we're also in a downtrend on the middle time frame. And momentum is down on both the middle and the high time frame. You're stacking information on top of itself. You're stacking information. I like that approach. And every year, what I did after Online Trading Academy, which was just one of my trading education places, every year I would go seek out another mentor, and I would study with that mentor. It's very beneficial to do that. So right here, guys, right here, I'm going to say buy two, right? And we're going to scale out of this position here. Okay, so it's $180 risk. Let's take out two of our contracts here. And again, we've got to be careful here because what's going on here? Well, we're still in that uptrend on that high time frame. And I don't like that. Okay? We really like to have TrendCloud, all the elements of TrendCloud going in the same direction. Then you can get real aggressive. Then you can get really aggressive because now you've got all 6 elements lined up together. You've got trend across multiple time frames. You've got momentum across multiple time frames. You've got support and resistance across multiple time frames, right? And you've got your supply and demand zones as well. And if you're, you'll be in an impulse phase, that sixth element, the cycle indicator, right? You're cycling down on that high time frame. Beautiful, right? Great. So this was really just one piece of information. Where is the corrective move on this thing going to end? Well, it kind of looks like it's ending right now, right? Take a look at that high time frame. Look what we're running into here. Let's draw it like that. Okay. So that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So it pulled back into this high time frame curve, and a curve is just another word for market edge. Okay, I kind of like using market edge better. It makes more sense. When I first started trading, I was like, what the hell is the curve? I don't understand what you're talking about, curve. It's a market edge. Nice. Thanks, Kazi. That's a big compliment. Thank you. You're my mentor for 2023 and 2024. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that, Kazi. That makes me know that I'm doing something right. People like the content that I'm producing here. We're getting results, right? And I really enjoy showing up for you guys every day. So we're having some really valuable discussions in the live sessions here, and they're all recorded and they're all on YouTube. But we have some really valuable discussions. Don't get intimidated by the fact that when you see the YouTube live session and it says 1 hour and 15 minutes or whatever, you can get in there and kind of pick up on the conversation. And eventually, guys, I'll when I'm editing the videos, I'll set chapters, which would be really useful to you guys. So I will work on that as well. But Kazi, you're retaking core strategy in February. Oh, nice. Excellent. Excellent. Who's teaching it? Do you know? Is it Jordan or Tom, one of those dudes? Let's see here. Really nice rejection candle. Guys, look at how it rejected and it just bounced off of that 15-minute trend cloud. Okay. The back-tested data on those specific exponential moving averages were very significant. And the mentor that I had, I did an internship with this hedge fund manager guy, and he was showing me these moving averages. He was showing me the 15 moving average, and how he incorporated that into the training. I wanted something more visual, and the guy, he was an engineer, okay, and so the guy actually was very precise, and his methodology was a little too methodical for me. Okay, it was a little too methodical because every little thing was like a move, a little too methodical, a little too exact, like the 15 exponential. As soon as it touches the 50, Now in this case, he's right. As soon as it hits that 15 exponential, boom, it bounces off of it. But I wanted something. Oh, Brock. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. Brock is teaching it in February. Very cool. Awesome. I wanted something that was a little bit more zone related and not so much on the money, this line, draw a line and that's what it's going to hit. So I like to stack that information on top of each other. And that's when, I came up with TrendCloud. Okay. So it's based off of those 6 elements, right? Trend, momentum, cycles, support and resistance across multiple time frames. And then you incorporate that supply and demand zone perspective as well. You've got something very powerful. You've got yourself an edge that has information stacked on top of each other. We really like that. Okay, so this would be a really nice target here because we are in this demand zone here. We're at this market edge on the high time frame, it is an uptrend. Okay, it's pulling back into the fourth wave here, and this is what we call a kind of a complex retracement, right? We've got this impulse up. It came down and went down a little bit more, right? So complex retrace. It's gone past its trend cloud, right? It broke through that 34 exponential, and it's heading towards that 50. So we might want to hit the 50 and then turn around, but we're definitely pulling into some buyers here, and that is the situation that we're in. So look, it's a trade, right? We're in this for short-term growth, short-term, very rapid growth. This stuff is happening in one day. Okay, so rejection candle here. Hopefully, we don't go beyond this. Take a look at what's happening here on the 1 hour chart. We're still pulling into levels of supply. We're pulling into different levels of supply with very strong downward momentum. So if this does pull back into here, our stop loss is up here. Why is it up here? Well, because we're above the swing. We're above that 15-minute swing, and we're also, remember, this is cycling back up. We are correcting back up into the trend cloud here on the middle time frame. Visual representation, you see? You need a visual representation across those multiple time frames. Otherwise, you're lost, right? A lot of people might get really scared when they take just a little bit of heat. If you're walking through a field blind, right? It's a scary thing. But if you have, some sort of night vision, or, some kind of mapping system that works, that is designed for multiple time frames, well, then you can say, oh, okay, we're pulling back into the demand zone on the 15-minute, which is also the trend cloud, okay, on that middle time frame. So it makes sense on the higher time frame. We can clearly see we've got the 3 time frames on our chart. And Krishnan, if you're in here, you try to use the 3 time frames on one monitor. And actually, if you have the desktop version of TradingView, you can, and you have 3 monitors, you can drag the three charts across all 3 monitors. It is specifically designed to do that. It's very cool. It's very cool. So now you've got your high time frame on this monitor, your middle time frame on this monitor, and your low time frame on this monitor. I have 3 monitors in front of me. Okay, that's really all you need. That's really all you need. Okay, but so getting back to understanding the visual representation of all of this, right? And you can double click onto these charts here, and you can really focus on what you're looking at, right? So we're looking at a retracement into the opening range. We've got some demand zone here, supply zone here, right? Got a supply zone, and we've got a supply zone up here that is also inside of the 1 hour trend cloud. And that's what this thing likes to do, right? Impulse down, correction up into the trend cloud, impulse down, correction into the trend cloud, impulse down. How many times does it do that? Well, you're going to have about 5 waves of that on average. On average. Can it only produce 3 waves? Yeah, you'll never know. So don't rack your brains about it. Another guy I trained with, guy's name is Peter Brandt. You might have heard of him. Commodity speculator. very big into classical charting. And this guy told me one day, he said, Chris, you're trying to come up with a trade plan that handles every possible outcome. And I said, yeah, I thought that was the point, right? He's like, no, you can't do that. You can't come up with a trade plan that there's too many variables. There's too many variables. So don't even try to come up with a trade plan that has, a strategy for every situation, for every possible outcome. You would have a 20-page trade plan with if-then statements on it, right? If this, then that. If this, then that. That's a great way to write a trade plan. You have to write it in a very objective way, but you've got to devise the plan around a core strategy, right? A basic strategy, basic core strategy. So I like that term, core strategy. But I don't like the term daily income. I don't like that. It's deceiving. So you've got to base your trade plan, this is what I did. I based it all around this number right here. This number right here is your main focus, okay? Is your main focus in your trade plan. And then what are you going to incorporate? What I did was I incorporated those 6 elements: trend, momentum, cycles, support and resistance across multiple time frames, and including to look at supply and demand, the imbalance between buyers and sellers, right? And again, if you're new, support and resistance, very different than supply and demand, okay? Very different than supply and demand. The support and resistance is more mass psychology, okay? Where everybody's looking at the 50 simple, right? Or everybody's looking at that 618 retracement level on Fibonacci. Mass psychology, that's support and resistance, which is why, and I teach it in the course, in my course this way with TrendCloud. Major levels of support and resistance, and I incorporated that into the indicator itself right here. The 100 and the 200 simple moving average, okay? These are what we consider major levels of support and resistance because everybody's looking at them. And these are used in big institutions and banks, okay? So if you go back here and you look, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Everybody is looking here. We broke through the 200 moving average on gold here, and then we went extended for quite some time. Pulls back, trend reversal, right? It's like, when is this thing going to reverse? I know we're going to have some kind of deep pullback that could turn into a trend reversal, but we don't know when, but at least we are signaled to it. We need that visual, at least I needed that visual representation on price, right? Kazi, you're in gold too? All right, awesome. Good deal. And there you go. Sideways, reversal. Extended trend. Look at how this became an extended trend. 5 waves down, hits the 200, bounces off of it, right? That's not chaotic. That's structure, right? So a visual representation of price on your chart using TrendCloud, it allows you to apply your supply and demand zones more intelligently. You have a higher probability of success when you've got some kind of mapping system on your chart, right? And that's what I put together here, guys. Okay, so again, very useful. But when you start learning TrendCloud or any system, you've got to stay in that simulator. You've got to stay in that simulator until it starts looking like this, right? Okay. We're doing some. This is the last 3 days here. This is the last 3. This will be the 4th day. Okay. So I like to have updated data so that we can look at and we can explore together. And that's the best way. That's what they're doing at these hedge funds. You think they're just doing one thing and and that's it? No, they're having meetings. They're looking at data. You got to do the same thing. You got to do the same thing. And that's what we base TrendCloud around. Okay, so so we're sort of bouncing between here. Got that market edge. We're going to let this play out. And it is 10 o'clock, guys. It's at the top of the hour. Is there anything you want me to look at? We kind of stuck on gold here. We had a good conversation about gold. We saw the trade take place. I think that's the most important, that's the most valuable thing I can give you guys over maybe like a shotgun method and looking at everything. A deep discussion into setup, a deep discussion into price action and the movement of price action, and how we can intelligently place that information on our charts. I think that every day becomes very valuable. So if there's anything you want to see, natural gas, from a 5-minute trend cloud, I turned off the bar color. Yeah, better visualized. Yeah, exactly. And natural gas worked out beautifully yesterday. Just look on gold here, guys. What's your anxiety level here? Are you like this? It's sitting in front of the chart. We're not, right? Because we're looking at a whole system here that's in play. We're looking at an entire system that's put in place that we've back tested in the simulator and that we know works. Seeing this brings confidence. Okay, so this is looking nice because we're again, it's like that fish jumping up into the downward waterfall, right? Here's your downward waterfall, that CCI indicator, right? Here's the downward waterfall right here, the momentum filter. TrendCloud momentum filter, guys. This is something I programmed specifically for the highest time frame, and we use it as a trading filter, right? We don't get into the trade unless this confirms it. You want to take a short? Okay, this better be red. Very simple, okay? But we want to line that up with the 1-hour CCI indicator as well. So everything works in conjunction. Everything you see on the chart here, this is a modified stochastic that I programmed. This is a modified MACD that I programmed specifically to do what I wanted it to do. And that's what you got to do. And that's the fun part of it, that's the fun part of it. All right, we'll take a look at natural gas and see what happened today. Natural gas, now this is an energy commodity, right? This is an energy commodity. So we're going to be using the 5-minute opening range. Let's go over there. Okay. Here's the TrendCloud opening range tool right here. All right. Just click onto the little gearbox and there you go. You just click on 5-minute and now you got yourself the 5-minute opening range. So what's happening here today? Let's clear the chart and let's go over natural gas. So we've got a 4-hour chart, trend is up, and we are in a corrective phase, aren't we? We're in a corrective phase because cycle indicator is cycling down. We are pulling into the trend cloud. This thing is like a freight train slowly coming to a halt, right? So uptrend in a corrective phase. That means the momentum is down. We're also in an uptrend on the 1-hour chart with downward momentum. So we kind of have upward momentum with this downward, I'm sorry, we have upward trend. We have upward trend with this downward momentum. And we're crashing together like this, right? And what does that produce? Well, it kind of produces this smushing effect, right? And you usually end up with a sideways movement. And that's what we're seeing here, right? So it did break out to the upside today. It broke out to the upside of the opening range. So it's following trend, but we're against momentum. We're against momentum. So in this scenario, let's get out to the 15-minute chart here. In this scenario here, and you can see we're not really going anywhere, right, on that 15-minute chart. Upward trend. We're getting a 15-minute downward signal. It's picking up on this multiple time frame momentum, right? It's picking up on that momentum. But what's the possibility that happens here? This is a mixed signal, right? So we wouldn't want to take this short necessarily, right? Because we're in an uptrend on both the high time frame and the middle time frame. We're getting a downward signal here. It's picking up on this momentum, but because the trend is up on both time frames, what's the possibility of happening here? You might get something that looks like this, okay? Or you might get something that looks like this, break of structure. That's what could happen. So how many times now that you know about trend across multiple time frames, lining it up with momentum across multiple time frames, now that you know about the CCI indicator breaking below negative 100 or breaking above positive 100, and putting all those pieces together, stacking those pieces together, that is what gives you this stuff. That's what gives you these results, okay? Stacking information on top of itself and making it a visual representation on your chart. That's what gives you results in your simulator so that you can take that with you into the live account, okay? That's what needs to be done. So how many times have you taken a trade where you're like, oh, I'm going to take this trade, and it goes, and it gets you in, you know, like if you want to take this short, right? You're taking some kind of, lower time frame demand zone or a supply zone here, right? Maybe you want some lower time frame supply zone, right? It pulls back. Now here's the breakout, right? Here's the breakout, pulls back into this area. Or in this case, you may want to go long, right? You're looking at trend and you're saying, oh yeah, the trend is up and it broke out to the upside. So I'm going to take the retest of this. Well, if you take the retest of the opening range in this scenario, upward trend, hey, great. But momentum is down. So if you take the retest in this scenario, what could happen? You want this to happen, right? But because momentum is against you, you might get something that looks like this. Does everyone understand that? Does everyone understand that in this situation, the retest of the opening range to go long, probably not the best? Okay, I'm just going to go over it one more time because we're getting late into the day here. We've got an upward trend. If you're just looking at trend, the breakout looks nice, right? Oh, broke to the upside. Oh, great. Let's take the retest, right? You're looking for this. You're looking for this. But because momentum is below negative 100 here, and momentum on the high time frame is pointing down and red, and we're cycling down You might be in an uptrend, but guys, guess what? This is in a corrective phase. This is pulling back into its own trend cloud to make the next move up. So we're stuck in this right now. So in this moment in time, okay, this moment in time, this is what's going on. Breakout, pull back into the opening range to retest. Momentum is against you, guys. Momentum is against you on the 1 hour. Momentum is against you on the 4 hour. And we're in a corrective move on that high time frame. See, it's represented right here on your cycle indicator. Cycling down with momentum at your back. If you take the retest of this breakout, you're probably looking at that because of momentum. Everybody get that? Everybody understand that? So when we see mixed signals on our TrendCloud system, we want to stay away. We want to stay away. We want to only take a strategy like the opening range breakout, retest of the opening range breakout. We only want to take that strategy when we have all the elements on TrendCloud pointing in one direction, right? Okay, so that is the lesson for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's go back to gold. What's going on with gold? All right, there we go. Gold is making its move because we've got a downward trend across the board here, except on the high time frame. But we have momentum with this middle time frame, and that's why we're not going to stay in this trade for a whole week or so. We're not going to stay in this trade, but we're going to. You're very welcome, Chuck. Very welcome, my friend. So we're not going to stay in this trade. Short-term rapid growth. Short-term rapid growth. That's what we're about when we trade. And if you use TrendCloud, you'll see that you're going to have a high probability of success because you're reading price action. Okay? So I'm going to manage this trade. And I will see you guys on Monday at 9 a.m. Hope you enjoyed the session, guys. I'll be back Monday, 9 a.m., and we'll pick it up from there. Okay? All right, everyone. Take care. Have a great weekend. And have a happy new year. Awesome. I'm glad you liked it, man. Glad you liked it, Steve. Hey, Sharon. Happy New Year, my friend. Mr. Fernando, Happy New Year. Okay, guys. Yes, Kazi, Happy New Year with the big money bag. I love the money bag emoji. Awesome, guys. Yeah, Happy New Year. All right, we're doing well. Hopefully we get to scale out of this trade. That'd be a great entry into the new year. Great entry into the new year. Cheers, guys. All right. I'll see you guys on Monday.